What's up, Canada, and welcome into the Hangout. I am Akil Augustine, and this is Canada's home for talking hoops. The Toronto Raptors are all the rage in this country, of course. You know, the Raptors are in the playoffs. Brooklyn Nets, Toronto Raptors. We're going to break it down here on the show. But first, I want to introduce you to my guests. Some very special guests, of course. We got to shout out the man producing the Raptors games. All eyes are on your work right now. Yourself, Devlin, Jack, Leo, the whole crew. And you're holding us down. I love the work you're doing. That's Dan Gladman, producer of the Toronto Raptors broadcast.
Sir, thank you.
Good times, right?
Amazing. Great experiences so far, games 1 and 2, yeah.
All right, my old friend, of course, veteran NBA journalist and writer Darren Andrade at Hoop Dogs on Twitter. Thank you for joining us.
Never a problem. Looking clean, man.
Hey, you know, the lint brush keeps me clean, man. You know? And then, of course, you know him, you love him. That is Nabil Karim, at Nabil Karim TSN, veteran NBA broadcaster, one of my favorite guys. And finally, I get to see you without a suit on.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, I sleep in a suit, so I should trust it.
Hey, the kid cleans up nice. Let's get into it, guys. The Toronto Raptors, they're hot right now. I'm going to put down my lint brush. Shouts out to Drake, though. I've had enough of that lint brush now. But let's get into it. First off, I want to talk about the scene outside the Air Canada Centre prior to the Toronto Raptors making it into the playoffs this year. A lot of people didn't think that we could fill up Jurassic Park, or the Square if you want to call it. But it has gone down. As you see, the Toronto Raptors got a big reaction from the crowd. They did lose the first game, but the crowd didn't go away. Game 2. Talk about the scene outside the Air Canada Centre in this matchup between the Brooklyn Nets and the Toronto Raptors. Dan, I'll start with you because you're looking at the footage out there in the truck. That's an amazing view.
Well, yeah, we have the jib camera that we can go to throughout the game and show the crazies out there in Raptorsville. And
there I am, enjoying one of the greatest moments of my life, hosting that party.
From the broadcast perspective, it's an incredible shot to have on camera to be able to go to that. But just the idea that these crazies are there and enjoying the game and showing their passion for the Raptors and for basketball, it just shows you how far, well, how far basketball has come in Toronto and Canada, but also how much our city is looking for a winner.
Well, it shows you how hungry they are.
Yes.
In 6 years, I mean, you see the hunger in that square every time a camera's on, every time someone steps up to the podium. Yeah, it's like rock star kind of vibe, right? So, you know, you have to think about the hunger that these fans have been starved with, and to be able to have that venue where they can actually get down. The last time I saw, and I might be dating myself, but the last time I saw something like this was the World Series.
Yeah.
You know, I was down on Yonge Street and it was just pandemonium, and this is a little more contained, but great environment for a fan.
But how much does that have to do with the tipping point? I mean, Wiggins and all those kids, the Stauskises, and then the Raptors making the playoffs. Toronto's kind of hit that, it's the right climate for basketball here. No?
Yeah, I totally think so. I think right now it's the perfect storm of everything's going on. People are excited about basketball in Canada. And, you know, I was worried about Cabby, man. I saw that game too, and I'm like, Cabby's out there.
The fans were mobbing him.
We're watching
security for
Yeah, we're watching at SportsCenter there from the studio, and we're like, people were just like, whoa, like we just did not expect that to happen. It was real cool, and you know, I take it back actually to Vancouver for the 2011 Stanley Cup Final. They kind of set something up out there like that too, and this was even better. I mean, this was pretty cool, and that was a Stanley Cup Final. So
okay, and we don't even have to touch on what Masai said, because that's turned that into a whole other crazy situation. The fans are revved up. Is this a real rivalry now? They stole game 1 from us. You've got Paul Pierce taking shots, saying he doesn't know who our GM is. You got KG taking shots. You got the guy standing up. Is Brooklyn-Toronto now a legitimate NBA rivalry, Darren?
I don't know. Some of it seems, you know, you got to.
Is it the word looking?
No, it does seem a little contrived, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Yeah. I think when you're starved from playoffs, when you're still trying to, you know, sell a new product and kind of be that team, that Canada's team, you have to create some sort of tension somewhere. Obviously, the playoffs is the best place to do it. But at the same time, you know, you look at Brooklyn, you look at the way the series has gone out. Look, you've got, you know, basketball is basketball, but it's still an entertainment product.
Oh,
so when you look at the off-court stuff that's going on, Drake, Jay-Z, whatever it might be, it all adds. Yeah, it all. Exactly, right? But it all adds, like, to that fire.
Yeah.
And so the experience of it might end up being a natural rivalry in the end. Even though we start out contrived, it might end up feeling real natural by the end.
And the Biggie and Tupac, by the way, must be going like this. Like,
what happened,
Fondue? Fondue? What you guys doing?
I know, they're probably mad at Jay-Z right now, but I want to get to something else. A guy that was mad, DeMar DeRozan, after that game 1. Game 2, your impressions of what he did, despite the foul trouble, kid balled.
Absolutely, man. He was crazy. And the thing is, he had like 17 points in the fourth quarter. He could have easily just flailed out. But again, he wanted the scene. You saw him in that timeout. I think he was sitting on the side. People were like, oh, what's he doing on the side? Well, you know what? He was concentrated, man. He was in the zone. Yeah, I thought he was real good, and that took a big step because a lot of people don't give DeMar the respect I think he deserves.
But this is where he's earning it.
Well,
absolutely, and you got to earn it.
Yeah, that's where you earn it, right? Like you can struggle a little bit when you're fresh to the playoffs, first, second quarter, but you know if your team manages to keep the game close, that's when you want your star to step up in the crunch. And that's when you establish yourself.
That is the moment he has been preparing himself for all these years, all those extra hours in the gym, working on his game, developing that shot. That's what it was.
Okay, we're talking about clutch then. What happened to Paul Pierce's DNA? Did he go to Costco and Walgreens and return the package?
It's about in bulk now.
Like, what happened? Honestly, two threes. This is the guy we're just finished talking about being clutch.
Sometimes you miss him, sometimes you hit him. And I mean, in game one, we saw him hit all the money shots. And then in game two, there were a couple times I think we all held our breath. That three, which I think would have tied it in the fourth quarter or maybe even given them the lead. He was open, he took the shot, he missed it. You can't be afraid of missing, and you know nobody shoots 100%.
Well, it's like Van Gundy says, you know, it's a hit and miss league, but aren't we all going to be holding our breath the next time he takes that shot?
Well, listen, hold your breath right now. We got to go to break. Listen, guys, we got more to break down from the playoffs here on Canada's Home for Hoops, The Hangout.